What's going on, everyone? Haven't seen you guys in a while. Today we're doing a big brake upgrade on the Subaru. So basically I get all my parts from like junkyards and Facebook Marketplace. So I'm in a couple Subaru groups, and these 06, 07 4-pot brakes popped up at a screaming deal. The fronts and the rears, 180 bucks. Where typically online you'll see the fronts themselves just go for like 400 bucks on their own. Crazy deal. The guy threw in some pads. They were trash, but I don't know. I got rotors for the rear because you need to change the rotors because they're larger diameter, better stopping torque. Not much to say there. So I do have, basically, my friend Zach gave me a set of rears. I expressed interest in getting Subaru 4-pot brakes, and he's like, hey, I have a set of rears for like 80 bucks, you want them? I'm like, heck yeah, man, sure. So I got these, and they came with good brake pads, and I got the rotors from him. He just threw those in. And then I had to buy the Cartboy big brake brackets off of rallysportdirect. They were like 225 bucks, so that was like the real expensive part in this whole brake upgrade. But so now I have two sets of rears. I don't really need these. I should do a dual caliper setup with a hydro e-brake on an all-wheel drive car. That would be absolute insanity. Okay. To do this swap, you're going to need an angle grinder and a cutoff wheel, because you're going to need to cut off this lip of the dust shield. Mine are completely like rusted away, so it's not really a big deal. They're not really doing anything anyway. But the newer rotor is a larger diameter, so this would interfere and connect. So you have to cut this off when you swap on your new bigger brakes. Another freaking scary thing I noticed was this brake line is rubbing on something, and it's pretty worn. I'm not going to replace it because I don't have money to, but geez, I'm going to put some sleeve or something over that so it doesn't keep rubbing. That's scary. Taking off the caliper mounting bolts, or the caliper bracket bolts, right now. They're a 14mm socket. The new calipers come with hardware, or the brackets do. Set the bolt out. And off comes the caliper. This rotor is shot. Look at all the grooves in there. This is not great. You can also see my Audi A4 front sway bar end link in the rear. It's aluminum. Sick. Now I have to take off this freaking adapter. Okay, so I just cut this ring off the rotor, or the dust shield, and I just undid the e-brake so I can get this rotor off. Probably going to have to whack it off with a hammer. Obviously don't care about it because I'm replacing it, and that one's screwed. So there's the new one. go. Okay, so we just cleaned off the bit of the rust with a wire brush. Let's see if this thing goes on there. Hooray! Cool. Bigger brakes. So I'm just going to put some thread locker on these supplied bolts that came with the bracket kit. Just because I don't want my brakes coming off. There we go. Now to put them on the car. This may take a bit of finagling. Okay, so I got that caliper on and that caliper on. Had my little sister come out here and bleed the brakes with me, but yeah, pedal feels nice and solid. I gotta do the fronts now, so on to that. Okay, so everything's back on, the wheels are back on. That looks pretty. Sick. I think the red calipers are set off nice against the dark bronze wheels. Now to do the fronts. Okay, so for whatever reason the guy who sold me these left the brake lines on, so that was nice of him. And I got new StopTech ceramic pads for these, which came with new brake hardware and clips. So that should be nice. Gonna have to bed these in to the old rotors because there's a layer of when you bed in pads, there's a layer of brake pad that beds itself into the rotor, and that contact with the actual brake pads is what does most of your stopping power. So I think the process is you go 45 to 5 on the brakes, then you go from like 35 to 5, and then you do like 2 panic stops, and then just normal driving for like 45 minutes or something, and then that should bed in the pads sufficiently. And yeah, now that's gonna look so cool. Alright, I got kind of carried away and started doing the fronts. To get the top caliper bolt off of this one was a bit of a pain because apparently it was replaced and it was a 19 instead of a 17, and the guy cut down the bottom so it's all weird, and I don't know. So I had to put the car on a jack stand and then get the wrench like up here and then put the jack under the wrench and use it to crack the bolt the rest of the way. That worked. And I used to sprayed PB Blaster all over it, and that worked. So now I'm put the new caliper on, slid right over, just using the stock bolts that came with this caliper. They work, same thread pitch, same length, everything. So yeah, I'm just putting this on. They look pretty good, and looks like I'm gonna need that spacer. Oh, look at that! That's cool. Oh, it's got big brakes. I gotta do the other side, but Wow, that's cool.